What's up, everybody? So a couple days ago I made that world's smallest fidget spinner using yo-yo bearings, and it's been 5 days and the video got 100,000 views, and I was like, holy crap, 100,000 views in 5 days. So I decided, I was like, well, how can I make another fidget spinner video but make it unique? And I was like, okay, well, the last one I just used the yo-yo bearings and I made like a tri-spinner. Here it is. If you haven't seen the video, there'll be a little thing that pops up right here. You can click on it. But yeah, since then I've also made an even smaller one using smaller yo-yo bearings. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to glue some, basically just some counterweights around the yo-yo itself. And this will be like a desktop fidget spinner. This should be super easy. And you can use any large bearing yo-yo. And all you're really going to need is some screws and glue. But I'll get more into that in a second. So, I don't know. Grab a drink and stay tuned. Okay guys, I got all my supplies, got my coffee. So all you're really going to need for this is a yo-yo. Like I said before, one that uses a large bearing, type C bearing. Like most yo-yos nowadays, that's what you use. And I got these screws. Basically, I don't know what these are, but I got these at the hardware store. They're like 1.5 inches long. And I just made sure that they were skinny enough to fit the gap of the yo-yo, so I just brought the yo-yo into the hardware store. Just to make sure, you know, I want to be smaller than the bearing, you know, so I can glue them on there. If it's too big, this isn't going to work. So just make sure they're skinny enough, and you should be fine. I got 4 just to have extras, but you could probably do this with just 2 right across from each other. I'm going to do 3 because I think it looks cooler. And we're going to use a glue gun, some super glue, and some epoxy just to make sure it's on there good. You know, I don't know how fast this thing's going to spin. If it's, who knows, it might start flying, so we need some epoxy on that thing. So let's do it. Alright everybody, so I took the bearing out of the yo-yo. So this is a concave bearing, so this is going to help keep this right in the middle. Okay, if you can see that. You see the bearing is concave shaped. So that is really going to help us. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little blot of glue here on the bearing itself. Not a little much, but that's okay. Okay, then I'm just going to, I'm going to drop the screw. That's why I got an extra one. Remember I said that? And I'm just going to hold that on there. Alright. That's off to a good start. I kind of lick my finger and push it down, check to see how hard it is. But that's pretty straight. Like that. Like I said before, I'm going to put some epoxy on here just to make sure it stays on. But this is a good start. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of my business cards. I'm just going to rip off maybe a couple corners or something. Okay, I'm going to use that for my bearing. Keep it as like a shim to keep it the right height. Come on. Come on, come on. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this other fidget spinner I made and I'm going to use this as a template. Okay, so I know where to glue the next ones, kinda, you know, roughly. So I'm going to give this a minute to just cool down and we'll be right back. Alright everybody, so that's on there real good now. I took the hot part of the glue gun and just heated it up next to it and then just kind of peeled away the excess to make it look nice and clean. So I'm going to take my old fidget spinner and I'm going to use that as a like a template. But one thing you could do if you don't have something like that is you could just draw a triangle on it, and then there you would know your 3 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on it like that, and I'm just going to put a little mark there and there, so I know where the next 2 spots to glue this is. So just, you know, really simple. I'm just going to put it like that, put a little dot there. Okay, and then same thing, I'm going to come over here, put a little dot right in the middle there. Cool. Okay. So those are, you know, it doesn't have to be nice. You're going to put glue over it. So that's going to be where I glue my next 2. Okay, so that's really it. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue over that. And then right away, put this guy on there. Make sure it's nice and straight. So you can pull away these like glue hair things. When it dries, it'll be easier. See, it looks like it's the nice thing about that concave bearing. It pretty much keeps it right in the middle. All right, so I'm gonna let that one dry out for a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, before I do this third one, I'm gonna just take some super glue and just put a tiny bit onto each one. Just because I've made it this far, take a napkin, wipe off, make sure none gets on the top part of the bearing. Like if it does, just wipe it off like I did. Okay, and since I got it this far, I don't want it to break now, so I'm gonna put some super glue, just reinforce it a little more. Let that dry, and we'll do the third part. Okay, guys, now we just gotta glue the last one on. I put super glue on the first two, like I just showed you. Now this one we're gonna start just with the hot glue. You know, right where I got that black dot on it. So we're gonna just once again just put a little bit of glue right there. Throw this on there. Give that a minute to cool off. Come on. These hair things just annoy the crap out of me. Alright, so just gonna let that cool off for a minute, and then we're just gonna super glue the last one. We'll be right back. Alright, got some epoxy. I got the quick set stuff because ain't nobody got time for that. I have to break this up. No, I gotta cut it off. Come on. Damn, that's not cheese and rice. Oh, I think I cut it higher than you're supposed to. Oh well, no big deal. I'm gonna throw this out when I'm done anyways. Okay, that's way more than I'm gonna need, but that's okay. I'll mix this crap up, and we'll be right back. The nice thing about these being screws, the glue will kind of lock into those threads and kind of help bind it. So, alright guys. Okay, so I'm just going to put these back on my stack of my corners of business cards. You know, and we're going to give that a good little bit to dry. And we'll be right back. Okay guys, well that's all dried pretty good. I could use this just as like a hand fidget spinner. Yeah, oops, just like that. Yeah, it spins pretty darn good. Yeah, these yo-yo bearings are pretty good. And but I want to put a little more weight in the end, so I'm just gonna take some hot glue and just put a bead of hot glue on the end of each of these, and just what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get it on there. They're pretty decent. Like the best I can right there. And I'm just gonna lick my finger so it doesn't burn me. I'm gonna kind of mold it so it's nice and rounded. Nice and rounded, I mean. Okay, so just a little, you know, so there's a little extra weight. I'm going to do that to the other two, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so it's all dried, the extra weight on the ends. Like I said before, this would work just as a great, just a little fidget spinner like that. But let's try it out desktop style. So you could just have this on your desk like that. I'm using an old yo-yo that's already broken instead of, you know, the yo-yo I was using at the beginning. It works fine. This one's already broken, so might as well use it for something. So let's, oh yeah! You could even have it, you know, use it in your hand, hold it like this. That looks pretty cool. You probably could even screw it together. I mean, it works fine like that. Let's try, see what happens if I try to screw this yo-yo together. And then, oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. So you can just have that sitting on your desk like that. The cool thing about this is, you know, I used a yo-yo that's kind of broken, but I could just take this out and put it in a good yo-yo. So I could have like my regular bearing in there and then just switch it out when I want to play with my spinner. Like, look at that. Let's give it another. I think this turned out awesome, guys. So, let me know in the comments. Actually, I'll put a poll. Is it cooler like this? Or is it cooler with just one half, you know, and just chilling? Or is it cooler just chilling like that? Like, which way is cooler? That way? When it spins like this? Or when it's all together? I don't know. You tell me. Alright, everybody that's still watching, thank you so much for watching. I think this thing is awesome. You know, it could just be like, you know, you guys say you work at a desk and you're like, you know, you gotta answer phones all day. You can just, you know, hit it, answer your phones, you know, whatever. You know, flip your knife, you know, whatever. Hit it around, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, guys. I still don't know which way is cooler. If it's cooler like this, or if it's cooler like this. So either way, guys, I think this thing's awesome. So let me know if you guys like these fidget spinner videos and if you want to see another one. And until next time, guys, keep on rocking in the free world.